They moved that whole building.
Oh my goodness.
Not the house, but and then I think one of his brothers got married, then the mother went back to that little old home.
So what did Dad do?
I'm trying to think of that.
Before that? After
I don't know if he had a job or what.
He was in the seminary, I know that. He was in the
Yeah,
seminary.
that I heard too.
But between that
Only 1 year, I think.
Yeah. And from then he, and the time he owned the bar, we have, none of us know what happened to him after that, in that period of time.
See, what was the last part?
From the time he left the seminary, he must have been about 18.
Oh.
Until he was about 28 when he married Mother.
You know, I don't know. I bet if I thought long enough, it might come back to me if I did know. I really wished I did know first, and I don't.
No, we don't either. None of us know.
Did he work on the farm by Martha?
By what?
By Martha, Aunt Martha?
That I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
No, I haven't heard of that.
She was young.
I really don't know. It was funny because
you were younger.
I'd go to Pine Grove and help out a lot. Jeannie
oh, did you?
Yeah, we did. We didn't we tended bar, but we were too young to tend bar. But you get away with that those days.
I understand you also plucked chickens, didn't you? Or did you work in the chicken factory?
Who?
You, or was that Jeannie that worked?
That was Jeannie and Orty. See, Mama died. My mother died when she was 58, and Jeannie was 14.
Wow.
And Orty was 12.
Oh, that was young.
And I often wondered why didn't I help him, but I was living in the cities. And then we came back to St. Cloud, and then she got married real young, and she was living in the cities. So they would come down with the train, though my dad worked for the railroad and get a pass. And Jeannie, my dad gave, I think, Jeannie the job to be the overseer. And they were just kids, you know. And usually Jeannie was the boss. She got a little extra spending money than Orty did. And she'd get in fights with Orty because she thought Orty was lazy. She was younger too, and she was doing all the work. She took, you know, we didn't have dryers, you know, for laundries then.
Oh, no.
And in the winter they strung a line. I did too.
Then they'd freeze?
And no, inside, in the living room. Maybe it was good getting all that humidity, you know, and we didn't realize it. And, she took my dad's underwear. It wasn't drying fast enough. And we had a big stove in the middle that heated very nice, but it had rids, you know, openings. And she hung the underwear over that. My poor dad had to go to work. He'd wear them because it was depression years. And it looked like a prisoner. It was all burnt brown and stripes all across. And she'd laugh about it. And he never complained or scolded. He was good to them, you know. And they were just young stickers, about 15, 16. Yeah. And they'd go to St. Stephen and they'd meet guys there, you know. All the guys looked, when I was single too, they'd want to take you out because you're the newcomer. I had a friend that didn't like me. She said, we took all the boyfriends away. And I became real good friends with her. I even found her husband for her. I had her, told her about somebody she should date him, and she married him. And then there was something else about those darn underwear. The house wasn't insulated, and the bedrooms were cold. You know, you just got all the heat and whatever went in the bedroom. So she took a blanket, was a thick blanket, and made a pajama out of it. Not a nightgown, a pajama. I bet that was nice and warm though, but anyway. Well, and one time I got there and they were in a big fight. She was real mad at Orty. And we had an ice box with no ice in it. It was a great big, we put big chunks of ice in it. And she was so mad at him, she stuck Orty's head in there and held it in there. And she's screaming and screaming, you know. And she was so mad she wouldn't get go. I came and I thought, oh, I wanted to get in between them, and I thought I better stay away. And I saw them, and Orty told me later that she pretended she fainted, you know, and then she let go. But then they became real big buddies after that, you know. And Dorothy, I always want to bring her up when you Leddy's, not Leddy's, Justin's are around, because she was so good to me and kind of pampered me. Well, one time my mother, I think she felt sorry for me because they were all going to dances and dating, and I was home with the boys. I had to play with hammers and nails and stuff like that. And she, what was I going to say now about that?
She was
Oh, well, anyway, she wanted to send me to beautician school, and she paid for 1 year of high school. It was $14, and then I tried to pay her back when I, you know, was later. And then she chose me for bridesmaid, and I thought that was pretty nice, because I think it was just one bridesmaid. Mm-hmm. And then there were, did you ever meet your dad's brother, August?
I did not know.
He was,
he passed away in 40.
he'd be in St. Stephen's at the bar a lot. They lived real close, his parents. Mm-hmm. And the mother was always in the slot machines, Mrs. Grandma Justin.
Oh, really?
Oh, she just, they had slot machines in that place. I think later they took them out. And
in fact,
they sold one.
They had them at the auction.
They had one they sold there for a lot of money, $800 or something. That one.
Oh, and more than that even. Yeah. I think like 5,000.
What?
Yeah, they had the last slot machine from Pine Grove. Elvina kept. She kept everything.
Uh-huh.
I mean, she kept everything.
I never saw her auction.
Oh my gosh!
I wished it was something important. I had to go to.
Oh my gosh!
We went,
and I heard it was really something.
Yeah. They had things. Well, first of all, about the slot machine, the boys started bidding on the in-laws. You know, Harold Leggett and Tommy. They all wanted to get that slot machine. So the price went really high on that thing anyway, because it was from way back when that she had hidden it. But the auction, Eleanor, that auction, it was as far as their land was, both directions, probably a block and a half, 2 blocks long. They had stuff lined up. Honest to God, she had 2 boats, at least 2 boats, about 5 lawnmowers.
yeah, because we bought.
She had sheds. She had sheds, and here she was in the assisted living for 10 years or so.
In a nursing home.
Yeah, but they had 4 or 5 refrigerators, a couple of stoves.
What was she doing with all them refrigerators?
They kept them in all those sheds all the time. They never get rid of them.
Yeah, I can see.
The big old Pine Grove sign was still there. Anyway, they had an auctioneer on both.
I picked that name, by the way.
Did you?
Yeah, I was working for her, and she was wondering what to name it, and there was some pine trees around there, and and she.
So
Well,
what was Dad's?
Yeah.
Sharing that. That's wonderful.
What was Dad's mother's name again?
Anna.
Oh, what?
Anna.
Anna Finneman.
Anna, was it?
Dad, Finneman was
Oh, Dad.
She was
mother?
Anna Ullman.
Pardon?
Anna Ullman, yeah.
Anna Ullman was my grandmother. She was an Ullman. Anna Ullman, her name was.
You just said she liked to gamble at Pine Grove.
Well, that was your dad's mother.
Yes.
And her name was?
Oh,
Anna.
I don't
And
know.
that was at Anna too.
What?
Anna, I guess.
Yeah,
Anna
I
Ullman.
don't know if I ever knew.
Okay.
Yeah, and your mother was Anna Finneman.
Yes.
Yes.
Right.
And she was Anna Ullman. But anyway, the auctioneer started 8 in the morning from the far distant, and about 3 or 4 in the afternoon, they started just saying, let's just take a table at a time. We can't do things at a time. And you buy the whole table, and it lasted till about 8 o'clock at night. It was incredible. Cars, I mean, just and 2 auctioneers going full speed all day long.
Oh, for heaven's
It was
sake.
incredible, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, I missed something.
Oh my gosh, it was. Ask your kids the next time they come. They could have been there. It was just incredible.
Well, while you're on that note, she would go to auctions all the time, auctions or whatever, and buy stuff. And those kids are so crazy. They everything anniversary they know they figure up something to do. And so she started. She had rocking chairs and I don't know what. She decided I'm going to take them. I guess she took them to what was that thrift store?
Salvation Army.
I think. I'm not
I
sure.
remember
it sounds
this.
like it.
Mm-hmm.
And her kids kept asking her, Lena, where did you take this and that? And she started telling them, and she said, I was getting frustrated with them. They kept asking her, well, where did you pick, what did you take over there? And she thought, doggone it, that's none of their business what I take over there. And here they went back to Salvation Army, they bought it all back.
And gave it then
Bought
for
it all back.
anniversary.
One of them was an old chair she was going to refinish, and then I guess that was too much for her and didn't finish it. Stuff like that. And I think one of her birthdays, or I think anniversary, they got it. That was kind of cute. They gave 60th. I guess they bought a bunch of goldfish. So many goldfish in a big bowl. I thought that was kind of cute to do.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, she does. Yeah, I remember she was always going. And then there was a place near Monticello that they'd go. They wouldn't go on the freeway. They'd take the other old road.
Then your dad used to make brooms.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'd make brooms, and we have to. They bring it to mother's house, and we have to go out and sell it for $2 a broom. I think it wasn't very much. $2 each for the
I
broom.
don't think it was
That time it was probably, it was
I
a
thought,
good
I
room.
thought it was a quarter for the little whisk broom and 35 cents for the bigger one. If I remember.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd pull them on my wagon
Did you
and sell
know?
them house to house.
Did you know that a blind person taught him how to make those brooms? A blind person.
Wow.
I think his name was Smith. I didn't know him, but I remember the
He
name.
lived down the street from us a ways. Yeah, he had his own broom factory at the end of 21st by the train track. He had a little broom thingy. Smith, his name was. Yeah.
Oh.
So that was his competition. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And then I think sometimes when he was laid off, he made brooms. But this was when he lived in town, I think, already. And he bought another lot and he raised broom straw. He also, on the farm, he raised tobacco.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Really?
my dad, tobacco.
Oh.
And maybe he made crushed some of it up too. I don't know. He must have sold it. I don't know what the idea was.
You mentioned he worked for the railroad. I worked for the railroad
Yes, you
in the
did.
superintendent's office, and I got all his personal records when they closed down. I took copies right away and kept
Good.
that, and it shows all his wages and when he worked and when he was laid off and all that. And when he first hired out, they had this thing. He had to make a pledge and sign it that said, "I am not a communist."
I'm not a what?
A communist.
Oh, really?
He had to sign on there a dotted line that he was not a communist.
Oh, isn't that interesting?
Yeah. So
That is something.
otherwise they wouldn't hire him.
Yeah. Oh, he must have had something against Polish. You know, they call them
yeah.
Polacks. And when we moved back from the cities, and I'd sleep in because he just loved to fool around with the kids at breakfast time. And every once in a while I'd hear him say, if they did something dumb, you must be a Polak. And I thought, I don't want my kids to hear this, you know. But I didn't want to say anything to him either. But one time, I guess he was working, he was talking to himself, and the guys teased him. And he answered him, I'm the only sensible guy here to talk to. Yeah. They must have had Polish workers or something. Yeah, that's pretty interesting. I've got some stuff in that, where is it? In that old box back there that Sharon brought. The letters and everything is so yellow and old, and I don't know why they tore things up on the narrow end all the time. It's hard to get in there. And when I was dating Harold, I didn't open all of it yet. The receipts that he kept, he was just a lot of stuff that I didn't know he was saving. He had it in the garage in a cigar box. I got it behind there. And he laid, I think he was fixing up his home. His father died, and was living yet, but his mother died, and anyway, his mother was very young, and they had that flu, and Harold had it too. And anyway, he started fixing up his apartment. I think he was fixing it up because he was planning on marrying me. And all of a sudden, he had a real nice linoleum and a great big room. And I got the receipt for $12.50. $12.50. How cheap. And it was pretty. It had a kind of a pattern that looked like carpeting. And then I thought he told me he was busy for a while. He was taking a little, it was cute up there. His brother lived downstairs. See, the dad raised 3 children when his wife died. And Harold paid took care of him, and his brother paid the taxes. That's how the two of them. So that's all. Yeah, but yeah,